Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, welcome back. Today we have a game between Bly on Fire. In the top right spawning as the red Zerg player and in the bottom left spawning as the blue Terran. It's going to be Liquid's Clem of course here, the cleaning bot in the main base. The depot at the ramp and the barracks will be constructed at the ramp as well, as Clem is a safe and solid player. The opposite can be said of his opponent, who tends to be, well, the opposite of safe and solid. He tends to be unsafe and liquid. No, he's extremely aggressive usually. Bly likes to create chaos in the game where possible, as he thrives in chaos. Clem is someone that likes the game to be chaotic, but his type of chaotic. He wants to be the one in the driver's chair. He wants to be the one making the calls and then the other person to respond. He's very, very quick. He's very good in chaotic situations, but is he going to be capable of beating someone as chaotic as Bly and as weird as Bly, I would say, because Bly tends to just make it weird. On top of that, Glittering Ashes is one of those maps on which there's a long rush distance. There's a very long rush distance. I believe it's 41 seconds from ramp to ramp. It's one of the largest maps in the current map pool, and I think it's the second best map in the current map pool for Zerg in ZVT. Maybe just barely behind Pride of Altaris. Well, actually, quite a bit behind Pride of Altaris. Pride of Altaris is extremely good for Zerg. We have a little weird-looking animal there on the map as well. Overlord's gonna scout towards the left side for any potential proxy Rexes, but the first Overlord went straight across the map. He's going to see this Reaper move out and Bly will know what he's up against. Double Queens are in production as well, and so far the opening has been rather standard, I would say. No Roach Warren has gone down yet, the hatchery went down before the pool, and all of these things indicate a game that is more standard than Bly is used to. So we have Clem opening up with a 3-Rex here. He says, you know what, I don't believe that I want to be playing my standard triple CC Hellion Banshee here, or my Hellion Viking stuff. No, instead I'm going to be opening up with a triple Rex, and I'm going to be safe through my own aggression. This is a concept that is employed very often by higher level players when they're playing lower level players. Often people ask, why did he all in, or why did he do such a risky build against the lower level players? Because there's two main reasons. One, if lower level players play against a higher level player, they either all in or play greedy majority of the time, and because of that, if you all in into someone all inning, often the person with the greatest responses in those situations will win, because both of you have a lot of units. The better player often wins. If you're playing an all-in against a greedy player, you also win, because all-ins tend to beat greedy players. So this is why so often we see those these very top players play very aggressive, especially Koreans do this a lot. Think of a rogue, a dark, bailing busting from 3 bases or 2 bases, doing like 50 drone link floods, that type of stuff. You know, it is not uncommon. Here we have Bly opening up with a quick lair. So it's going to be a 2 base versus a 2 base here. And that tends to favor, I don't know who that tends to favor, but I think that would favor the Terran here. Going to have a lot of Marines at least. Bailing Nest is going to be in time. I think Bly just realized what's kicking off. He scouted with the Ling and saw a crap ton of Marines there. Wait, there's a bunker in the main base. Man, Clem is so afraid of Bly. Double bunkers going down right now, as Clem did not manage to get the scout. What has he seen actually? He's seen a pool almost done, and that's it. So he believes it's going to be a Nidus. I asked the other day to a Terran and said, hey, when you're playing against 2 base, like what is the response and what are you thinking that your opponent can do? And the Terran told me, well, most likely it's going to be Nidus or 2 base Muta. And either way, you want to get a lot of Marines. That tends to be good. Now, the thing here is that Clem already had a lot of Marines, so the bunkers kind of feel like overkill. I kind of understand one bunker on the low ground, but on the high ground, he definitely had enough Marines to shoot down any Nidus that would come up onto the high ground. You could just have your Marines in position. So it is a little bit surprising for me as we see the Spire go down on the side of Bly, and this is of course the second option that I just mentioned. It's going to be 2 base Mutalisk. With the factory being this late, because the gases for Clem were this late, yeah, this could be a bit of an issue. There's not going to be any real pressure on Bly's side before those mutas get out on the map. The drone count can probably go up a little more. Bly obviously is not quite aware of what the starport timing is and what the medevac timing is going to be as a result of that. We now have that scan, and the scan does end up finding that spire, and immediately we see the move out here for Clem. 29 Marines all marching across the map in the Overlord vision. I think this is a little bit naive out of Clem, a little bit optimistic, and perhaps even a sign of disrespect towards Bly here, because I mean, Bly sees everything. Clem is aware that he sees everything. There's no way that this should work. Banelings could just be morphed. You know there's going to be a Baneling nest if someone plays 2 base Spire and they scout a bunch of Marines in the early game. That's just a given. Baneling speed is already done. Clem really should not be committing here. He's going to be moving forward with a bunch of these Marines. Isn't quite aware. Okay, now he knows that there's Baneling speed and he just needs to move back. He needs to split those Marines the best of his capability. Get some pretty darn good splits off here and actually takes a semi-winning engagement. Stim is going to wear off. Second Stim goes down, which means that now the Banelings will be capable of one-shotting those Marines. Good target fire though out of Clem is preventing that. One Muta will go down. Second Muta will also fall. Total resources lost in favor of Clem as 700 gas has gone down on the side of Bly. The income on Bly's side also isn't that brilliant, but there is a lot of map control right now, and that will allow Bly to purely focus on building mutas and drones, which is the ideal combinations of things that you want to be building if you're playing 2-base muta. The moment you have to build more links, it means your eco gets denied, and if you have to invest in more banelings, it means your muta count is lower than you want it to be. Bly does walk into a bit of a supply block, and that is a painful supply block. Because right now he wants to be droning up and he wants to be getting those extra Mutalisk. Links are getting into the natural though. Clem not quite ready, not a single mine in positions. These Marines will run back. 5 SCVs do end up falling. A bunch of Marines also go down. We have Bly still controlling these links. We'll go into the third base now. Says, hey, I saw your Marines pop into the natural. Let's see if you're ready to go into the third as well. 10 workers have gone down total. The reactor is going to get taken out by these 2 Marines if Clem doesn't pay close attention. 2 Marines still firing. Just in time walks away, but I think it might just burn down if Clem doesn't see it. Scans the 4th base, sees no drones there. He's going to be pretty happy because of that. If he would have seen a lot of drones there, he probably would have just straight up attacked. This was a scan saying, hey, how far behind am I really right now? When I did that first attack, were you on 65 workers or were you on 50 workers? And I think right now Clem realizes that at that time Bly actually was on 50 workers. So Clem's going to sit back, relax a little bit, take it slow, and is just going to make sure that he doesn't take too much damage against this Mutalisk harass. There is a crap ton of mutas though, 17 mutas on the map currently, 6 gases going ham. We see that the gas mining has prioritization over the mineral mining, which I don't want to say this is a Mutalisk all-in, but it almost feels like a Mutalisk all-in here. Like, these mutas need to do a lot because there's nothing behind this. There's no Evo chambers yet. There's not a whole lot of eco either. More links are being produced, and although the Mutalisk count is growing, this mine is gonna take out 3 of these banelings before they get to connect with anything useful. Turret might just burn down. It indeed will. Mutalisk continuing to find damage. There's no overseer with these mutas, so these mines are being very helpful here for Clem's defense. Now we have 14 drones and double evos going down. And this is the timing where Clem ideally wants to hit. However, Bly with his large Mutalisk count not only denies the infantry armor, but also will be capable of keeping Clem back. Another link run by into the 3rd base as well. Did Clem just scan again? Yes, I think he just did, because he did see this gas going down. And now Clem probably feels the urge to start moving across the map. There is a 4th base on the way. But this could be a sign, those 8 gases going down, that perhaps Bly wants to be going up to 76, 78 workers. Clem is on 63, but his upgrades are weak. Is there even an armory yet? There is an armory actually, but there's just no money for Clem currently. He's really going to need to start doing a little bit of damage. I'd love to see 2 overseers or 3 even being added with these mutas. That's exactly what's happening here. They're trying to take out one of these mines. Now these banes are going to move in. There's still 1 mine in the back. We'll be able to perhaps get a big hit. We'll get a big hit, but Clem's response isn't fast enough. 7 workers will go down. 10 workers will go down. Turret gets taken out and one of the mines also falls. Honestly, a 5th base, a 5 base Zerg here could have been in a really good position, but Clem's drone count is, Bly's drone count is just a little bit too low, I feel like. I do like the extra links all the time, and I appreciate all the run-bys, but it feels like the 10, 5 or 10 or 15 drones sprinkled in every now and again really would have made a huge difference here, as well as just a 5th hatchery. Not only for the larva spending, but also just to get those extra gases going, to get that extra mineral income that you need. But so far it feels like Bly is just happy with having complete map control. 6 more mutas are on the way. Infestation pit on 70 drones, Bly. Okay. Oh, it's gonna fly into a mine. Mine gets off. Ooh. That was actually pretty sloppy there out of Bly. He's gonna try flying in right now. Even gonna dive on top of this turret. It's not going to work. He's gonna lose 1 Mutalisk. He's gonna lose 2 Mutalisk here. Still will need to fly through this turret. We'll get it and we'll get the mine. But taking a fair amount of damage here. 14 mutas have gone down in total. Seems like Clem is finally stabilizing and feels safe enough to perhaps even start marching across the map here. With 1 Thor in his army, 2 Thors in his army. 10 mines and 54 marines. Superior upgrades are still here for Bly. 1-1 against, well, it's going to be against 1-1 as well. 8 more Mutalisk on the way. 68 workers still. This drop is not going to be capable of doing anything. There is the drilling claws upgrade right now. 2 drones will end up falling, but the supply is in favor of Clem. And the only thing, funnily enough, that's keeping Bly kind of in this game right now is the fact that he has a low drone count. Because if he would have 95 drones right now and only 160 supply, I'd say it's over. But because he has such a low drone count, this is a fight that he can take. Especially because his bailing count is so large. He has 29 already, 23 more on the way. Clem has fantastic micro, but on creep against 50-ish banelings, well, that's gonna require more than just great micro. It's going to require brilliant micro, and well, so far Clem is definitely showing that. 7 workers have gone down on his side. I assume another baneling run by did occur. We have that 5th base up on the far left side, but as the 4th gets taken out, Bly remains on 4 bases. Mutalisk looking for damage. Mine doesn't get the fire. I think this turret is gonna fall. That means a lot of these workers might also go down. I don't think there's enough here for Clem. Barely enough, says Clem. And barely enough, says our good friend Bly as well, as these marines will be capable of pushing this back. No, Bly turns around and will actually jump on top of all of these marines. 2 more mines do get the hits in, and a couple more mutas will fall, but a lot of these SCVs end up going down. 65 workers here for Bly against the 51 of Clem. 4th base once again re-established. 2 marines already working on it. A little Ling run by will need to take care of that. Bly's going in once again and will be capable of clearing this turret as well. Clem actually going to be in a bit of trouble here. So these marine reinforcements, are they even going to be enough? I think the answer is no. Stim runs out, and once again, Bly will just return with the Mutalisk, taking out SCV. After SCV, 2 Thors go home, and these finally will be able to secure this 4th base. A lot of Mutalisk have gone down during all of this, though. A lot of damage has been dealt. 40 workers have gone down on the side of Clem. He has been rebuilding them pretty diligently, though. So he's already at 50 again. Whew, Bly. I'm not quite sure whose position I prefer here, but Bly did kind of fight himself back into the game. Needs to somehow get a defense on this very left side base. Instead, Bly will just give it up. Already starts expanding to the far right. Already has a base there even. These drones, however, will fall. Bly down to 60 workers right now as he loses 12 workers. 2-2 about to finish up for our Ukrainian friend. The Mutalisk will find a bunch of marines and a marauder. And they say, hey, I know you shoot up, but there's not enough of you. There's no medifex, there's no healing. Marauder will end up falling, and Bly is going to continue his reign of terror with these Mutalisks. 38 have gone down already, 17 on the map. These 2 Thors are going to get spotted. And they get more than just spotted. They get taken out here by Bly, and the next one might also end up falling. These medifex will go down. Both Thors fall. I think 2 mutas ended up falling against 2 medifex and 2 Thors. That is a fantastic trade. There's so much money here for Bly, though. Does he not have any larva? Oh, huge move command. What a complete error here out of Bly, who kind of messed that up. He really did mess that up. Oi, 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 oi. Losing all of those links, it's kind of painful. 11 more mutas on the way right now. 58 workers for Bly's. Gonna be able to kill 1, 2 marines. Goes for the marauder, doesn't quite get it. There is, what is it, +2? Yeah, +2 on the Mutalisk right now. And this Mutalisk actually deal a crap ton of damage. small numbers of Marines will not be capable of dealing with these Mutalisk, and losing the Taurs actually was a big deal. Now Bly once again is raining the skies. 32 Banelings still on the map, so even though the supply is in favor of Clem, I actually like this situation here for Bly. As long as Bly doesn't lose any drones in the next minute or so, and he gets a little bit of damage done with these 26 Mutas, which feels inevitable, I think Clem might actually be in a bit of trouble. Another mine gets taken out, medevac gets taken out, another mine. Here we go, Bly's on fire here, truly, not only in his name. Well, mine after mine after mine after mine. Marauders get blasted here as well. These Mutas are just too high in number. Ooh, these mines are going to shoot. A couple of Mutas do end up falling. Turret gets taken out. Tor on the high ground is helping out. That guy came in just in time. Mine doesn't get taken out. There's a bunch of Marines here as well. And now Bly is losing a couple of Mutalisk. Down to 19. 11 more Mutas on the way though here for the Ukrainian Zerg, who is lacking in loads of things. He's lacking in tech, he's lacking in bases, he's lacking in creep spread. But he makes up for a lot of that with the Mutalisk count. Needs to be so darn careful here with these flying T-Rexes. Good lord, what a game. I feel like, how many Mutas have gone down so far? 49 Mutas have gone down on the side of Bly. There's no gas for extra upgrades, or at least Bly doesn't feel like there's any gas for extra upgrades. Crap ton of Banelings, and might actually be going for a big attack. 5th base is being established here for Clem, and Bly needs to do absolutely everything to stop that 5th base from stabilizing. Now these Lings will help out, take a bunch of the damage. Mutalisk will be capable of clearing out this army eventually with taking minimal losses. Banelings at home should be able to defend this base, although there is no creep here. There's also no mine, so I think this fight should be in favor of Bly the moment these... Oh my good lord, he attacked all of the Marauders. He didn't aim at the Marines. All of the Marines staying alive here. That bottom base got taken out. These mines do hit, but the Mutas stay alive. There's no turrets left here. I don't think this is going to be enough as a defense here for Clem. We have a massive base raid scenario here. What an intense game here between Clem and Bly. As the 3rd base of Clem is getting battered and bruised. Base might even fall. The 5th base of Bly also went down. Bly still on 74 workers, lacking the hatcheries. Clem lacking workers, lacking hatcheries, lacking everything at this point. But the splits out of Bly aren't good enough. And these mines take down all of these Mutalisks. And so will the Mutalisks take out all of the Marines. This game makes absolutely zero sense. There's still... Oh my god, it's just gonna lose all of them. It's gonna lose every last Mutalisk here. We see some stutter-stepping Taurs. I knew Clem was good, but even juggling them between medevacs. Oh, did he just do that because the boost ran out on the one medevac? I don't think I've ever seen this before. Where a Terran player uses different medevacs so he can boost them after one another to get another shot into Mutalisk. This game is insanely high level. Clem's been fighting to get back into the game. He doesn't have the momentum. He's been on the back foot for a while, and Bly's just expanding all over the map. We're getting an infestor now. I'm not even sure what that's going to do, but I love it. 3 ultras are out. I guess if you don't have any creep and you do want to play Ultra Ling Bane and an infestor is a necessity, this left side base is going to get destroyed one more time as Bly is not going to be in position. These drones need to get out. That's going to be the most important thing. We see an immediate drone pool. I think Clem realizes though that this is absolutely pivotal in this game. A lot of them will escape, however, and Clem is just gonna leave that base as it is. Bly scouts. A lot of Clem, by the way, up 30-40 supply. That middle base with a bunch of mules, or actually this right side base with a bunch of mules, have been putting in the work. There's a single mine here. Tor gets surrounded and gets freed in the last second of his life as the mine shot all around him. This gets picked up. There's not enough Mutalisk anymore to clean up this this squad of medevacs. The Tor will be capable of zoning out these Mutas as well. And with these medevacs escaping, I'm feeling bad for Bly. As he's tried so hard, he's got so far, but in the end he's down 40 supply. And he's also kind of getting outmined at this point. There's only 2 orbitals, sure, that's true. But what does Bly really have left? What are the opportunities for him? Before, he was down in supply a lot before. He was down in upgrades before, but at least he had the Mutalisk count to get that harassment going, to keep the army split up and to always have a tool to clean up these drops. But right now, with the momentum on Clem's side, we see Clem in control, and this is where he is the best. He sends out a double drop to the far right side. He sends out his main army to the left side. Doesn't quite control it properly. Weird army split here out of Clem. Is going to lose a lot of his units, but at the same time, Bly is going to lose one of his last mining bases. With his 3 o'clock being taken out, mining I think might just be too little. Mutas get shot from the sky as well. And Bly F2s to the far right side. There's still a big army on the left though, and the moment Clem realizes what's happening here, he might just decide to go back with that main army. Exactly what happens. He sees the links appear and says, hey, if your links are here, if your mutas are here, what is left on the left side? And the answer is 8 drones and a hatchery with 528 HP. Spire's gonna get targeted down here as well, so the 3-3 Marines are just a little bit too good. There is chitinous plating on these Ultralisks, so they will be able to get the cleanup. But the left side base falls and Clem keeps on rallying. New command center floating towards the left to establish a 6th base. And Bly is losing every last worker that he has at this point. 35 workers left for Bly. 50 supply up is the French Terran, who once he got back in control without the Mutalisk flying around, showed what he is made of. And he's made of pure Terran. That's what he is made of. 4 Marauders and 3 mines walk towards the right side. I don't quite know what the punchline is, but they die. 4 medevacs still on the map. Perhaps a couple of more medevacs for the continuous healing of this army would be useful. But honestly, I don't think it's quite going to matter, as we see Clem doubling the income here of Bly. Bly is expanding all over the map still. He still has a bunch of minerals in the bank. Has 9 larvae as well, but what's he gonna spend it on? More links with 2-2? What, against pure marine mine? Marauder? It's not gonna work. You need a baneling count that is large. You need maybe some infestors with this army, and most of all you need creep in order for those banelings to connect. None of these things are here, and I think this will be the final stand for Bly. Ultras moving forward. Marauders are kiting back, and these Ultras don't quite get the damage in that they need to get in. The high ground is helping out Clem as well, and these Ultras get sent back home. But there's no home for them to be sent back to. Just like in The Lord of the Rings. Will there be a Shire when these Ultras return home? No. The Shire is gone, Sam. All there will be left is a lame hatchery that is being built with 4 drones long distance mining. Life is not as we used to know it. These Marauders are gonna get taken out by these Banes. But the reinforcements are... Oh, actually these are chains. I thought they were reinforcements, but nonetheless Bly decides to tap out at 42 supply against 158. And Clem wins this very intense game, which was very good. I liked it a lot. Some cool moves. I like the Thor move. Good base trading moves out of Bly, but in the end, I think it just lost too many Mutalisks. 85 Mutas lost, and sure, a lot of these were kind of lost in the battle, but some of them just flew straight into mines, and then into Thors, and then into mines again, and then into more Thors, and perhaps that wasn't necessary. GG's! I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you all next time for a new video. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye.